Back up.
See, you should have been on house ass.
Mr. Israel, bring that fire out.
They screaming peace when there ain't no peace. Israel prophesying in the streets. Look at me, the center of attention. Black Messiah coming with a vengeance. Coming with a vengeance.
It's a song that you sing called "What You Gonna Do When the World Is on Fire." Where you gonna run? Where you gonna run? You remember that? You can't run. You can't hide from God. Listen to this. Read that.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 45. Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Go to Jeremiah 11:11. So God said, these curses gonna come on you and pursue you, mean follow you. That's why they own us. Read that, Jeremiah chapter 11 verse 11. Read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 11 and verse 11. Therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon them.
God said, I'm gonna bring evil on you, read.
Which they shall not be able to escape.
So if you leave and walk down the street, you can't escape it. If you move to another state, guess where you gonna live at? In the ghettos over there.
Right.
Guess who gonna be around? The drug dealers over there.
Right.
That's what God said gonna happen to his people. Go back.
Right.
Deuteronomy 28. So he said, I'm gonna bring evils on you that you can't escape. Read that in 45 again. And they happening to you for a sign to identify that we God's chosen people.
Right.
Deuteronomy 28 and 45 again. Read that.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
Curses gonna come upon us. The Lord gonna bring on us an evil that we can't escape. Read.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
So if you ever wonder why bad stuff happening to us, the Bible said it's because we broke the agreement we made with God. God is keeping his part of the agreement.
Right.
Because we said all the Lord spoken we would do and obey. You said that. Read.
To keep his commandments and his statutes which he commanded thee, and they shall be upon thee for a sign.
So what's a sign do? It's an identifying marker. If I was lost, I would look for the sign. Mill Branch, Winchester, landmark. I ain't lost no more because now it marks a land. It give me a landmark. It's an identifying marker of where I'm at. So are these curses. That's why they're a sign. It's an identifying marker. When you see this stuff happening to people, it should strike your mind and say, those God's chosen people in disobedience right there. It's an identifying marker. Because they stopped wearing dresses like they supposed to, like this sister doing, she got on a dress. That's what God said do.
That's right.
Because you want to do something different, we went into slavery on ships. Read that.
And they shall be upon thee for a sign and for a wonder, and upon thy seed forever.
God said it's going to be on you for a sign and a wonder forever. Go back to verse 15. Deuteronomy 28 verse 16. Living in the ghettos is a curse. You ever wonder why we glorify Hurt Village, Lemoyne Garden? It ain't no garden. That's Lemoyne garbage can.
Hey, right.
It ain't no garden no more.
What?
It ain't a garden. The cemetery. Yeah, I'm talking about Memphis Housing Authority. That's what I'm referring to. Public housing, Scudderfield, Dixie Homes, Foot Homes, Lamar Terrace, Walter Simmons. The ghetto where a lot of us grew up in. Do you ever wonder why we grew up in those conditions? Because God said, what? Read it.
But it shall come to pass.
Verse 16.
Verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
God said, if you broke my commandments, you're going to live in the worst parts of the city. I'm going to make your cities waste. That's what God said. We live in the ghettos for breaking God's commandments. How you doing, bro? You know we out here teaching? We teaching our people who they are going to the mountain. And we going over some of the things that's happened to us to identify with us being God's chosen people. Alright, get verse 37. Because our names will change. What you say your last name was again? Campbell. Hammond. Who? Gray. These white people last names. So our names will change in slavery. You familiar with slavery? Listen to this. You familiar that our ancestors came here on slave ships, right? He said he's not familiar with their history. So you supposed to have been teaching the young men, but somewhere along the line, our elder generation done fell off from teaching the youth the way to go. Now guess who their role models is? I'm talking about as a whole. Who the white man give them to be? Cardi B, Future, T.I. They not the public figures in the community. That's who the white man showing you who to look up to. It used to be the Cosby Show. But guess who Cosby is to you now? The pudding rapist. When he was the best thing going for the black community. Who else showed you how to be a father and a mother in a house raising your kids? The daddy was a doctor. The mama was a lawyer. It was a husband and wife in the household. You don't see that on TV no more because they're trying to destroy the black family. The black family image, they don't want you. That's why they're going to sell you Pampers with the single mama on the pack. But the white people Pampers got both parents on it. They is out to destroy us as a nation of people. Listen to this. Deuteronomy 28:37.
And thou shalt become an astonishment.
God said, because you broke my commandments, you're going to be an astonishment. Meaning, why you sagging when your pants tight as hell? And you got a belt. That's an astonishment. Like, it don't make sense to sag pants that's tight as hell. But guess what? We learn that by culture and they teach us it's the right thing to do. Everybody else doing it so it don't appear wrong to society. Like gay. I'm not saying it to pick on our people. I'm saying it because they influence you to do it and like it's nothing wrong with it. They got you saying gay is the new black. Stuff like that. And when it ain't true, read that.
And thou shalt become an astonishment and a proverb.
A proverb is a wise saying like what? You want to hide something from a nigga? Put it in the book. Niggas always late. Niggas love Kool-Aid. Niggas love chicken. You want to get some niggas together? Throw a barbecue. That's a proverb against you, Reed.
And a byword.
A byword means call something outside of your God-given name. That's why your names will change. Get that in Isaiah 65:15. So that's why you would call. I forgot what you said your last name was. Gray. And you was Hammond. Because you go if you go to Ancestor.com, you ain't gonna trace Hammond back to Africa. I'm just gonna tell you straight. You ain't gonna trace Gray back to Africa.
Right.
You go Ancestor.com ain't gonna tell you this, but you gonna trace your name back to the family that owned you. You gonna trace your name back to the plantation. That's the real name brand. You think shoes name brand? As slaves, they used to brand their name on you like they did a horse.
Right.
But guess what? You brand yourself now. You pass it down to your kids like it's something good. That's the real name brand. Your name traced back to the family that owned you, and so does your religion. And so does your religion. So if you ever wonder why grandma and them Baptist, cousin them Episcopalian, she's Seventh-day Adventist, you know why? Their religion traces back to the family that owned us. Read that again.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 65 and verse 15. And ye shall leave your name for a curse.
For a curse, meaning you was going to become a proverb, a byword. That's a curse. Read.
For a curse unto my chosen.
To my chosen. You are Israelites, really, but your names was changed. That's it.
For the Lord God shall slay thee, and call his servants by another name.
You see that? If you call the Israelites, is your last name Israel? Are you even familiar that your last name is supposed to be Israel? You see what I'm saying? Get that in Jeremiah 17:4.
Bring it out.
Because that name carries weight. It means I'm a prince that got power with God. You better recognize I'm made in his image. I'm black like God. I got woolly hair like God. I got his last name, meaning I'm a son of God. Not just a son, I'm going to inherit the same thing he gave Jesus Christ, which includes power. You know them X-Men that you be always watching? They got that off of the Bible.
That's right.
They put stuff in your face to see how fake you think it is and see how dumbed down we are as a nation of people.
Right.
Read that.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee, and I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So you discontinue from being called an Israelite, now you called gray. You discontinue from being called an Israelite, and you serving your enemies in a land that you don't even know. This ain't the promised land. What happened to the promised land that God promised to the Israelites? This ain't it. Read.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
You know what that's talking about? He said, you kindled a fire in my anger that shall burn forever. Let me show you what that's talking about, Deuteronomy 28:46.
Bring it out.
That's why these curses are a sign on the Israelites he was speaking to and their children forever. As long as you burn kids, listen to this, read this.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 46. And they shall be upon thee.
These curses, read.
For a sign and for a wonder.
The curses is the anger that's going to burn forever. That's the fire in this anger that we kindle, read.
And upon thy seed forever.
How long?
Forever.
So this the book of Moses in Deuteronomy. Remember I said that was wrote a long time ago. Moses said y'all gonna live in the ghetto for break God's commandments. Your names was gonna be changed. So how you gonna trace your identity back? By these signs. So when you see this stuff, that's a sign that God dealing with you, because he ain't dealing with the other nations. They bastards. Why you think it ain't a white Trayvon Martin? Why it ain't no Arab Sandra Bland? Why it ain't no East Indian George Floyd? Why is only happening to us?
Bring it out.
This does said the Lord, because they bastards and not sons. You getting a spiritual jacking up, God giving you a spiritual beat down. He disciplining his kids. Where you at? Listen to that. Hebrews 12. Read that.
The book of Hebrews 12, chapter 6. Chapter 12 and verse 6. For whom the Lord loveth, he chasteneth.
Whoever God loved, he chastened. He disciplined. Read.
And scourgeth every son whom he receiveth. If ye endure chastening.
Chastening is going over the curses. The punishment for breaking God's laws is what he used to discipline us. Just think. God said, look, man, I'm going to send you into slavery for breaking my laws. You don't remember going to slavery, but we was those people. It's regeneration in the Bible. So when you see the punishment, when God said, now I'm coming back, I'm going to sit on my throne and I'm going to judge you according to your works. I'm going to judge you according to your works. I'm going to judge you according to your works. I'm going to judge you according to your works. I know firsthand the judgments of God. I don't want to see that again. I done been through it enough to make me realize what I'm doing wrong, who I am, and what I need to do to change so I can be right when God come back. Read.
If ye endure chastening, God dealeth with you as with sons.
So, okay, I'll put you over there on slave ship. You remember that people had to beat out their back? You know, you don't remember. That was actually you. You don't remember. So I'm going to tell you this, but guess what? God said it can happen again because there's more curses in there saying you ain't going to have no assurance of your life. I'm going to show you something exactly happened to you. But I'll finish that up real quick. This dealing with the chastening. The chastening that God putting his sons through, read.
For what son is he whom the Father chasteneth not? But if ye be without chastening, whereof all are partakers.
All the children of God are partakers of his chastening. That's why y'all can relate to what's coming out. All the children of God are partakers in the chastening. Did your ancestors go to slave rail ships? Are you familiar with the history that we came over here on slave ships? Y'all familiar with that history? Y'all familiar that we worked in the cotton fields? You see that? We are all partakers of that. Read.
We're all partakers. Then are ye bastards and not sons.
God said the other nations that ain't partakers of that, they bastards. Guess what that means? He ain't they daddy. He ain't they God.
That's right.
They ain't going to slavery on ships. They ain't going to cotton field for breaking God's commandments. Listen to this. Read that. Deuteronomy 28 and 64. Deuteronomy 28, 64. This is another sign. Hey, listen. When you get pulled up, the police stop you right now. Is you gonna be scared, or you gonna talk mad stuff like you ain't do nothing? You gonna put your hands where they can see them? That's what I'm saying. So listen to this. You partake. This is the testament of God. This is what God's saying. Listen to this. Read this. Verse 65.
Verse 65. Deuteronomy 28, 65. And among these nations,
God said, when you came over here on slave ships, when you get here, read,
shall thou find no ease.
I don't know where you going, but you ain't gonna have no ease where you going. That's why they make it cool talking about you can hustle all day, I'll sleep when I die. Read that.
Neither shall the sole of thy feet have rest.
You can have the Nikes on with the air bubbles all you want to. But God said the sole of our feet ain't gonna find rest. Listen to this, read.
But the Lord shall give thee there a trembling heart.
God said, I'm gonna give you there a trembling heart. You smoke? That's why. God said, I'm going to give you the trembling heart, read.
And failing of eye.
You hate what you see. You hate the condition you in. Listen what else?
And sorrow of mind.
That's why you smoke. God said, I'm going to give you a sorrow of mind. Read.
And thy life shall hang in doubt before thee.
God said, your life going to hang in doubt before you. Meaning, if the police pull up, you ain't going to know if you going to live or not. The conditions that we live in, you don't know if you got the wrong color on. You don't know if somebody finna come declare their loyalty to a gang by shooting at you for having that color on. You don't know that. So God, these the chastisement of God for breaking his commandments. Read that.
And thou shalt fear day and night.
God said we gonna fear day and night. You ain't gonna have no ease of mind, which cause our people to smoke weed, cigarettes, black and miles. Read.
And thou shalt have none assurance of thy life.
That's a sign that you God's chosen people. That's the best thing going on today. Today the Lord's Sabbath day.
That's right.
Well, you ain't finna do nothing but go and break God's commandments. And that's what got us in the condition. That's why you gotta be scared something gonna happen to you, because today the Lord's Sabbath day and y'all finna walk off. Ain't nothing else going on. Get verse 6 to 8. That's why we went into slavery on ships. Right. Come back over. Check the sign. Hey, bro, 5 more minutes. Come look at the sign and identify with your heritage. Listen to this. We God's chosen people. Read that.
That's right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
God said he gonna bring us into Egypt again. Is this Egypt? Y'all familiar with the story when Moses said, when God told Moses, tell Pharaoh, let my people go? That's in Africa somewhere, right? So listen to this. Read that again.
And thou shalt bring thee into Egypt again.
So the Lord gonna bring you into Egypt again. You got $1? Look at the back of it. I got one if you don't got it. Look at it. Because you said this is not Egypt.
Bring it
I
up.
know you according to the Bible that this is Egypt again. Read that. Read that.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
And how we gonna go into Egypt? Listen.
With ships.
Egypt means slavery. But this place is spiritual Egypt. Why is the pyramid on the back of the dollar? Because they know this Egypt. That's what in Egypt, Lower Egypt was called Memphis. Lower Egypt was called Memphis. It was on the river called the Nile. But guess what? It's on the river called the Mississippi. And guess who was in front of the pyramid? Pharaoh. They moved it now. You familiar with the Pharaoh being in front of the pyramid? Google it. If you Google pictures of the pyramid, the Pharaoh was in front of it. They moved it to the University of Memphis right now. But look, listen to this. Go to Revelation 11 and 8. We in Egypt right now. This spiritual Egypt. This spiritual Egypt. We slaves. This God warning you. God told us to warn my people. So you know enough to where God brought us into slavery on ships. Our names was changed for breaking God's commandments. God said, you know you ain't gonna have no assurance of your life. You know you smoke. That's why I'm showing you these how you identify God is jacking us up for breaking his commandments, not doing what we said. And the only way out of these conditions is to agree, is to keep the covenant, to come back to the agreement we made with God. Read, smoking ain't gonna do it. Voting ain't gonna make it change. Marching ain't gonna make a change. Hands up, don't shoot signs ain't gonna change nothing. Read.
The book of Revelation, chapter 11 and verse 8.
Hold on, drop that. Get Isaiah 51 and 20. I want to show you what God said the sons of God gonna be at. This is what God said y'all gonna be doing. And I want you to tell me, is it true or not? This is what God said the sons of God gonna be doing. Read that, Isaiah 51 and 20 real quick.
The book of Isaiah, chapter 51 and verse 20. Thy sons have fainted.
God said the sons of God had fainted. Meaning, just what I was about to go into, the dead bodies in the streets. No understanding, no knowledge. He said the sons of God have fainted. Read.
They lie at the head of all the streets.
So the sons of God is on the street corners. Who you see on the street corners? That's y'all. That's y'all in the front of the store.
Right.
Trying to get somebody to buy a cigar because you ain't old enough. Right. That's the sons of God doing that. Look over there. Asking for change. Asking to wash the wonders. Look. Them the sons of God over there.
Right.
Read that.
Thy sons have fainted. They lie at the head of all the streets.
God said they're going to be on the street corners, and he been describe their mindset. Listen.
As a wild bull in a net.
Buck wild. You heard that? God said the sons of God, you heard that? Gonna be on the street like what?
A wild bull in a net.
Buck wild. Y'all understand that? So listen to it, get some rock 6 and 2. I'm gonna show you what's wrong with it. I'm gonna show you what's wrong with it. Being like a wild bull in the net. I appreciate y'all time, alright? Check the flyer out. Y'all got flyers? There's contact information on there. Alright, listen what's wrong with that. Read that.
The book of Sirach, chapter 6 and verse 2. Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart.
Because you think you know something. The wild bull in the net think he knows something, not knowing he full of the fury of the Lord. Not knowing the curses on him. Read that.
That thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull, straying along.
Look, it said, look, listen to this before you leave, bro. Listen to what I'm telling you. I want you to listen to this. Read that before you leave. Read. Read that again.
Extol not thyself in the counsel of thine own heart.
So after I done told you the sons of God on the street corner like a wild bull in a net, buck wild, the Bible said don't lift yourself up in that. Read.
That thy soul be not torn in pieces as a bull straying along.
God said your soul will be torn in pieces. Who gonna tear your soul in pieces? Give me 1 Peter 5 and 8. Who gonna tear your pieces? Because when a bull stray along, that means it's time to get hunted. Look, they walked off from the shepherd. It's time for the wolf to come. This is what God said don't do. It said, as you gonna be torn into pieces. Listen to it. Read 1 Peter 5 and 8 while you walking off.
The book of 1 Peter, chapter 5 and verse 8. Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary,
you don't realize you got enemies. Your adversary, the devil, read,
as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Soon as you left, the devil right there on Facebook going up and down, waiting on you to jump in your phone and fall back into that foolishness. And look at somebody twerking on their news feed. So you can go break the Sabbath. Soon as you left, read that again.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking whom he may devour.
Your adversary, the devil, is like a lion. And what do a lion do with a bull straying along? What do a lion do? Why you think the bull stay in a herd? For they can stampede? That's dangerous. And another one, the same thing zebras got stripes for. It get hard to tell the difference between where one at. It's hard to tell. You can't attack them like that. A lion understands this. But when he by himself, the advantage is in the lion.
Right.
The lion got the advantage over him then. Read that again.
Be sober, be vigilant, because your adversary, the devil, as a roaring lion, walketh about, seeking who he may devour.
So now, when they left, this the best thing going on today. They learned about slave ships. He know he was supposed to be smoking. So he got to keep the commandments. He know in his spirit God requires that of him. So, but you think he can do that by himself? No, get that in Hebrews 10 and 24.
Bring it out.
You need to be around people that's going to help you get built up. They ain't leave. For one, they don't got fringes on to remind them to keep the commandments.
That's right. That's right.
They don't know the basics. They don't got the censor milk so they can grow. They just lion food. We are lion food. This system is designed to swallow us up. It's designed to swallow us up.
Read the book of Hebrews, chapter 10 and verse 24. And let us consider one another to provoke unto love and to good works.
So that's the advantage of being in a group. That's the advantage of being in a group. If I'm battling with cigarettes, I ain't finna fire up now right here. You know why? I know immediately they gonna say something.
That's right.
If I'm battling with stuff, I'm not gonna do it. That's why I said every sin is without the congregation. Because guess what? You find yourself by yourself, Satan catch you by yourself.
Right.
We used to scream black power while heroin was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are our men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.